Alright, we'll let that fluctuate at this current time. Let me get off of this. There we go. Alrighty. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the BNR Racing Network here tonight. We are live on YouTube. Alongside of me tonight is Will. Good evening, Will. And we also have our fellow other broadcaster on Saturdays, Mr. Chris. Good evening, Chris.
Yeah, how we doing?
We are doing all right. Will, how are you doing this evening?
Yeah, about the same as Chris. All right as can be.
Yes. So,
and about yourself, Brian?
Well, I'm doing all right. Thank you very much for asking. So, Will and Chris, tonight, these Xfinity drivers here head to Las Vegas. Will is our phenomenal NASCAR analyst. So, before we worry about qualifying here, I'm going to let Will go through the famous background history of Las Vegas, and then we can jump back into qualifying as they do it right now. Then I can go over a little bit of the race day information. So, Will, why don't you go ahead and give your well-known knowledge about Las Vegas, sir?
Well, Las Vegas, it's one of those mile and a halves that was originally planned to be just a flat mile and a half track. It was one of the original flat mile and a halves. Then came Kentucky, Kansas, and what is Nashville Superspeedway. So Las Vegas was originally flat, and then CART came, was the first racing series to venture to Las Vegas. Then NASCAR came the following year. Roush Racing won the first 3 spring races in the Cup Series here. So that's a nice little footnote if anyone cared about that. But yeah, originally flat. Then they made it progressive banking. I think it's 23 to 26 degrees of banking in the sets of corners. Kind of a slick track most of the time, and also it seems to be here this evening. So that's going to be one to look out on the exit of the corners. Also maybe getting into the corners, getting that car to plant and settle. But that's pretty much the rundown of Vegas. So back to you, Brian.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. I'm going to go over a little bit of the race day information here. So bring that, guys, to you. So obviously, as you see here, we are at Las Vegas. We are at a mile and a half. The current track temp itself tonight, guys, is 83 degrees. So the current weather outside, we are not at Auto Club. Don't know why it says Auto Club. I gotta fix that. It's supposed to be Las Vegas, I tell you. Good catch, B. Boom. There you go. Haha. Alright. So the current track temp here tonight is 65 degrees Fahrenheit, 20% humidity. It is partly cloudy. Chris and Will tonight, they do have a 6-mile-per-hour wind, which is going to play a factor on that long Nellis backstretch there. They do get 75% fuel, 4 sets of stickers here tonight. 1 quick fix and a limited temp set of green, white, checkered. Could we possibly see all of them green, white, checkered? It's quite possible. Do we kind of know? No, we don't. We got quite a few teammates through here, and as you see, guys, Brandon Moore is on top of the board, the 30.2. But there's still quite a few guys out there taking the rest of their quality. As you see there, Jaden Sanchez did tie it with Brandon Moore, so those are the 2 that we're going to keep an eye on. So
we have a projected fuel mile. Go ahead, Brian. What?
Oh no, I was done.
There's a projected fuel mileage of 35 to 38 laps. That's what I've been told. by several drivers, so 35, 38 laps. If they go beyond that, that is fantastic for them. Excellent qualifying at the moment, tight-knit group of competitors that we have that have set a lap out of what you said, 33, I believe, have joined the session to attempt to race. So just about 75% of the field.
Yes. So Chris and Will, who do you think is going to be the sleeper before I go over the thorough rundown here?
Chris, you go first with your sleeper picks, bro.
I don't have the full grid in front of me, but as Kevin Roy's in this field, I'm going with him.
Is
Yes,
Kevin Roy
Kevin's,
here tonight?
he's starting 29th, yes.
Oh,
All right,
wow.
my money's on him.
Well, Lomax, man, just so many people. It's hard to. Bradford, there's just too many, Brian. Now this
There
running
is.
order, you're going to have a good time here.
Oh, yeah. So P1 is Brandon Moore. P2, Jaden Sanchez. P3 would be Jason Spear. P4 would be Matthew Huntsaker. P5, Adam Newton. P6, Bernard Person. P7, Zach Deusser. P8, James Bryan. P9, we have Jackson Lomax. P10, we got Philip Bridgman. P11, we got Joe Stipe. P12, we got Randy Koken. P13, we got Chris Berger, who's supposed to be in the 36. That's my fault. I left him in the 16. Mark Berry is in the 27. He's supposed to be the 9, so he'll be fixed next week. Chris Schaefer will be P15. P16 will be Tyler Myers. P17 will be George Rincon. P18 will be Jason Adams. P19 will be Chris Campbell. P20 will be Robert Amaro. P21 will be Jason Higginbotham. P22 will be Aaron Bradford. P23 will be Nick Shell. P24 will be Dave Barry. P25 will be Josh Small. P26 will be Samuel Archibald. P27 will be Larry McKenzie. P28 will be Richard Johns. P29 as Chris's sleeper pick, Kevin Roy. P30, Jim Coleman'sberger. P31, Jacob Delgado. P32, John O'Brien. P33, Eric Corder. P34, Cade. Whew. Alright, boys. So,
What a field.
that's going to be...
Jim Coleman'sberger, Kevin Roy starting on the same row. So those two definitely going to be ones to watch. Man, Richard Johns back there did not make a qualifying lap, so he's definitely going to be methodical about this. 100 laps here, that's 150 miles, so that is the equivalent of an ARCA Menard Series, I guess you want to call it Pro, the one that gets televised on 2 different racing networks. But, yes, so 100 laps. Yeah, I know, I'm a trickster, Chris. So,
Like I said, Will knows his knowledge, so you're going to learn anything. Good old Will.
the drivers who did qualify, I believe the 20-some-odd drivers, 22 or so, that put down a lap, very tight-knit, only about 5/10, that's half a second separation of those 20-some-odd drivers to qualify here. Man, long list of cars. Very impressive
I
here
was
this
gonna
evening.
say, Will loves it. Will loves it. Hey, look, there's Phillips' new paint. That's the Reese's. That's one you were talking about.
Yep.
Mhm.
Keep an eye on the Reese's ice cream machine. He's looking to have a good race tonight.
But Will,
Pace car.
Nope, not yet. They're still pacing.
okay.
I don't know why.
I think they wanted the field to be a bit more conversed, possibly. Who knows?
Could be. That's all right. This time they'll peel off.
Yes. So gives us a little bit more time to chit chat. So
Yes.
I
I'm very excited. That's for sure. I'm very excited. See how this is gonna play out. I'm gonna say an early wreck is coming going into one. I'm just gonna say it.
Well, if they get 15 laps caution free off the start here, I'll be very surprised. But yeah, interesting field here, large field for the BNR Xfinity Series. Nice to see the, I guess in a way, growth that has came to this league. Don't know what else you would want to call it.
Exactly. I don't
nice
even know.
growth.
So, but we'll take it, and
so let's see.
We're gonna have a lot of
which way
battles to focus on. That's for sure.
Oh, too many to admire for sure. At the Samuel Archibald, I don't think is going to get to start. Looks like he might have had a connection issue, Brian.
I believe so, but that's all right. Unless he's still off.
He could be. That might be a wise move, but.
All right.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, that man pace car looks so dramatic. Brandon Moore, pole sitter, leading the field to the initial start. Pretty even Stevens, even kill towards the front of the field, going back. Everything looks all right on the start as they dive into 1 and 2 here.
Oof, that's that little wall slap there. Yeah, that's that
wall
slap, boys.
Really close to it.
You're probably going to be seeing a lot of that tonight, especially with these cars, especially with the new new tire models and stuff like that. So far, so good, Will and Chris. They are getting spaced out. You see Delgado is now serving his penalty, so he would now come on through and serve that, and he would be good to go. So far, so good. Oh, and Jaden goes around.
Not sure if he got loose, or maybe Brandon might have came down and just got loose and came down into him and clipped him. I'm going to get to see here on the stream before you get to the replay.
Shooby-dooby-doo.
Okay, I take that back. I don't get to see because the camera. I think maybe, can you get one of those, maybe the third person or maybe looking down the back straightaway, Brian? Maybe Jaden was coming up to get in front of, because Brandon was keeping his wheel steady. He was holding a pretty wheel off that high lane coming off of turn 2, and indeed, Jaden Warsh is all the way up to the wall, I guess expecting Brandon not to be there or maybe give him some slack early on. Maybe Jaden thought for sure, well, Brandon won't put up too big of a fight here, but for sure, Brandon normally tries, from experience, to at least keep the lead or, at least attack when he thinks he should. And I see no reason why the pole sitter shouldn't try to defend his, starting position, I guess you could say. Possibly a good amount of damage to the 47, so.
Yeah, that nose there. So, like I said, we had that early wreck. Like I said, we're bound to get it.
Indeed. Whether it comes from the front, middle, back, wherever.
So, Spear
unfortunately.
Exactly. Which is going to come and go. And then, like I said, Spears now going to cycle out to the leader due to Brandon Moore diving down the pit road. Wants to fix that nose up a little bit. And then you got Zach Deusser. Well, you know a lot about Zach Deusser. He's a hard charger, along with Phillip. So,
yeah, you want to pull Zach in the booth? Let's give him a chat real quick, if we got time.
Yeah, I believe so.
Hey, Brian, check your D for your message.
Yeah. Shooby dooby, you need Zach. Zach, where is he? Right here. Zach, you got a copy.
What's up, guys?
How are you?
Pretty good. How are you guys doing?
I am doing all right. Thank you very much. So, you're up there, P2. Unfortunately, early on there with Jaden, I know it's the biggest field that everybody's excited about, but which is a good thing. Nothing less, I am too. Me and Will were just talking about that. It's good to see this many Xfinity drivers. We didn't think we would ever get this turnout in Xfinity. But how's the car handling at this current time, even though you guys are only 5 laps in?
Oh, really good. It's on rails. For as far as I know, I think it's going to get tight on the long run, but as of right now, she's on rails. I think I could lead a couple laps here.
Right. Will, you got anything for Zach?
plan, Zach? Try to stay up front. Just keep the nose clean, right?
Yep, do what I can.
Well,
Chris?
you were talking that. Oh, my apologies.
No.
Yes, Chris,
Nope.
have any questions?
Nope, you're all set.
No, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
All good. I was just recalling what you said in practice. You thought it was a real nice handling car, so maybe that hopefully transferred over into the race for you as well, Zach.
I hope so. I could use a W.
Well,
you did win at Atlanta, so we'll see if you can keep that winning mojo into tonight. Well, I'm going to say best of luck to you, and hopefully your race goes the way you need it to. I don't know about these other two, but they can. I'm done what I'm saying. I got to
best
say.
of luck
So
to you, Zach.
there you go. All right, get Zach on back down there to.
Thank you guys.
You're welcome. HMS. Boom. There you go. So you heard it from Zach. He's going to do everything in his heavens almighty to do it all. There you go. So I do believe they will be lining up this time. Yes, they will. So I think they, look at that, synchronized by the 21 and whoever that is behind them. 13. Shuffle.
That's Pearson in the 13. Lomax, a couple of positions from where he started. I know it's early on, and the front row kind of accidentally swiped each other out. It happens sometimes. That's racing. So Lomax has really been pretty consistent here lately, as far as just being very consistent with his pace, it seems. So Lomax for sure would have to be one to watch for me. There's so many I could just talk about. Josh Small, he's always seemed to be there, towards the end, trying to get a top 10 every single race.
Yes, I agree with you. Josh is always there. Josh is the steady one. But as we see here, Will, pace car is about to peel back off, and I will leave the floor to you and Chris.
And Spirit brings them down with the wave of the green flag. We're back underway again. Hopefully everything's a bit more cooperative, I guess you could say, on this restart. A little bit more
early gap.
Indeed.
Got a bunch of cars shuffling back in there.
I think he just got a real good restart, real good launch, did Spear on that restart. Of course, being the leader, that's one good blessing for iRacing. Really gives a leader advantage for the most part.
These guys are slinging it 3 wide already.
Well, that's what you normally see here on restarts, especially with this big a field and just the type of track it is, it can produce this type of racing. It's just if these drivers are capable and sensible of their surroundings, so that they know that they're 3 wide or in a very tight-knit group of cars and amongst the battle with one another.
Yeah, I know a lot of people have different opinions, but I really like these cookie cutter tracks, these mile and a halves. There's something about them I like.
Well, they can produce a lot of fun racing, a lot of great racing, side-by-side racing, and that's what some people really like to see. Sometimes it just comes down to strategy at the end of the day, sometimes. But normally, I've always liked mile and a halves.
Oh yeah, mile and a halves are out in that will. I mile and a halves always have. I'm not too picky lately. I've been on this platform right here itself. Short tracks have been been very great to me. So I couldn't do any of them on console. I didn't give 2 licks of it on console, but on this platform I enjoy them. I guess it's because you actually get the real feel compared to the console side of things. But mile and a halves are always great. I love all tracks on here. Besides the road course, very iffy, maybe Watkins Glen. I like Watkins Glen. But as you see here, the 23 is coming to attack the 77, coming out of turn 4 to get to the quarter of Robert Amaro. 23 will not be able to, as I spoke too soon, 23 will complete the pass just about on the 77, and he does, guys.
Yes, that is a battle for, what position was that? My apologies, Brian.
That is for...
Oh, we got one on the wall up top.
Somebody's in the wall. Kevin Roy's hanging back. Hold on, once it
That
shuffles
was
out, I'll
for
let you know.
16th position.
Yes, that was for 16. Thank you, sir.
That might be 15th now. But no, 16th, I think, still. Yes. So they're closing in on Joe Stipe and Josh Smalls and one of the Berry brothers. I believe that's Mark Berry.
That is.
In the Exalta purple-black car, so...
23 making another move on the low side. Not able to make it happen.
Oh yeah, that 23, he's very good for his long run pace. Racing, somebody's around there, just like that. Caution will be out. I don't know who that is. That's just a random.
Not sure who that was.
Campbell. So we'll come back here and see what happened.
He was running in 24th place at the time of caution when this occurred.
Fellow blinkers.
Oh! He was kind of just there as, who was that, the 75? 79?
Yes. Quarter.
Yes, is it quarter or quarter?
It might be Cordera. I haven't really got the
like
pronunciation. So do I.
I hope it's Cordair. But that was a mixture of netcode and also like kind of wanting to arc it as wide as possible, but yet, you know, he may not have known the 79 was out there. Or, you know, the 79's got to turn in too, but also it can be quite difficult. Maybe your spotter first told you were clear because, you know, you had a lane between you and the 79, or, you know, just different things could have happened there. Just one of those. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, you know, we might not have seen the same netcode that they were seeing, so they might not have seen one another at a different time as when they collided, and, you know, something like that could happen as well.
A lot of different cases that it could have been. Just could have been a good racing deal at the same time. Like, he was trying to arc it as wide as possible. It looked like into the corner, and then Cordair was there trying to turn in as well. So, kind of 2 into 1 type of thing.
Oh yeah, that does happen.
I mean, there was enough room, but you know, it just looked like Campbell wanted just a bit wider entry is all, and they just kind of met.
Yeah, as you see there, the back stragglers are pitting just for the sake of it. They got some strategy of their own, which is great because I gotten a lot of them to use the right strategy, but depending on where you sit, that's for sure.
How many sets of tires did you say these guys got tonight?
These guys got 4.
So some people for sure, hopefully they're just coming in to top off and not actually accidentally, you know, burn a set because they forgot to, you know, uncheck that tire marker.
Right. Well,
you don't want to burn them up too early.
Yeah, every 25 laps, that's easy math right there.
Well, especially, you know, getting that basically 38 laps is normally here with 75% fuel. That is to believe to be a full tank here this evening. So, you know, that is a good way to go about it. Go every 25 laps, but maybe only a total of 3 pit stops would have been the case, but maybe 2 projectively. But
Yeah, well,
I believe
a good thing is if you can get past that quarter point on the first segment of the race, or however far you can get past that, you can have an extra set of tires in your back pocket for the end of the race in case, like maybe a late race restart or something like that. You can be on fresh tires.
exactly.
I want to go ahead and talk to Phil while we got a little bit of time here. Let's see how he's doing. Philip Bridgman.
Hey, how's it going?
How's it going?
It's going pretty good.
Good. I see you're rocking the new number 7 paint scheme. Looks nice. I would like it a little bit more if it was up there in the top 5, but that's right. Still a lot of racing left in this massive field. How's your car handling as of right now?
It was a little bit on the tight side. It was starting to get a bit tighter, a bit on the worry that it's on the plummeting side, but I'm hoping to keep it up here until I do switch tires. I'm hoping it's not too far from now, but yeah, I'm hoping just to keep it up here.
Well, you got anything for Philip before we send him back? Because I know these guys come quick.
Now just keep the nose clean, Phil, and go get 'em, man.
Appreciate it. I'm doing my
Chris,
best.
Chris, you got anything for Phil? No? Wonderful. Hi, Phil.
Nope, sorry
Best of
about
luck to
that.
no. You're good.
All
You're good. Best of luck to you, bud.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So we'll get back up to the front here.
Yes, Zach Deutscher restarting again on that outside lane. He stayed about 4/10 back from Spear once the run was starting to evolve a little bit. We didn't quite get a medium run, but just short enough to understand possibly what could be happening with these race cars if we ever do get a long run. But restart coming back here in just second. Oh, Zach for sure had a moment there. Might have been slipping a gear. Spear gets another good hole shot restart.
Oh yeah. As we come there to mid-pack, Will and Chris, I think a lot of these boys are now going to start getting spread apart. They'll probably choose their battles wisely. I would love to see green flag pit stops. Could we possibly get it? Maybe. Will, you know, and I know the aggression through this field is varieties of it. So we have some hard aggression by some drivers. So that's always good news to relate back to Chris, so Chris knows. But I'm sure Chris already knows that after Auto Club. So, but a lot of these guys know each other personally, raced over on the console side for months and years. So we know how to race each other and the aggression level. A lot of aggression through the field. Some newbies and ain't used to it, and that's why I like the bigger field. So it gets these guys to learn. And pardon you, pardon myself if you hear the dogs barking. That's just what it is. But the dog's always got to chime in on something. But
Yeah, it would be nice to see a long green flag run. Have these guys get some strategy going on. See who's had some fresh tires already, who's got slightly worn. They've had some cycles on them, but they've been short cycles. We're only on 22 of 100, so it'd be good if we can get some green flag run. Want them get a pit strategy going and see who's going to do what.
You have some runners now trying to get that outside lane rubbered in.
and there's third caution. Cordero, Rincon, and JD.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Looked about around 25th place. Oh, he just got too high up in the wall. And Rincon was just unfortunate, innocent bystander, as he was committed to that middle lane. Brandon Moore, he's might have already used a quick fix, or maybe just might have a little bit of damage. He slaved through that.
Yeah. So JD might have locked him up, panicked a little bit. Oh.
I think he bumped the wall.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Yeah, he bumped the wall on both ends of the car.
So everybody's coming down to the pits, Will.
He was doing a good job, though. He was trying to lock it down, trying to stay out of trouble. He was, he was checking up for what was going on in front of him. Yes, everybody coming back down pit road, like, kind of like what Chris said. I agree with him. Like, not too many heat cycles on the tires, but still probably enough to, still upset them. For some, this might be just getting a second set of tires. We don't actually have the capability, at least to my knowledge. I don't think Deutscher's going to be the leader, though. I think Spear and Newton stayed out.
Spear, Newton, and James. As we watch the race off pit road here, very interesting. Bradford beat everybody off.
Well, what about Delgado, then?
They all stayed out. They have yet to pit.
Okay. Nice that Higginbottom is in the Piedmont Airlines paint scheme, 44 car. Always love to see that when he races.
So we had a couple of cautions early on. That is expected with these guys through their aggression. As you see, the 18 shuts his car off, looking to protect and save. So you see Cordair, is out of the race. That did it for him. So now, unfortunately, very early on, so that happens. So I think from 5th to 1st stayed out. So, interesting.
Spear's still up there in the front.
Yes, he is. Which is one of the newcomers this week.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I don't know. It's very tight-knit field, that's for sure.
I was going to say, I think possibly Richard Johns and Delgado. Excuse me.
Right.
Pardon me. I think Richard and Delgado pitted either the first or second caution, and they came down, possibly might have had a set of tires already, so...
Yes, they might have.
Not sure if Spear or Newton have pitted. I think they pitted on the first caution. I think not everybody, maybe the second.
I guess caution laps take forever here.
Takes a good minute to run the mile and a half.
Yeah, I think
speeds.
that's something they fixed.
About a minute and a quarter, minute and a half.
Let's talk to
Richard John in that Tasmanian Devil Dell Earnhardt car.
Talk to Matt real quick. Matt, you got a copy?
Yes, sir. What's up?
You guys going back green this time?
Yep.
Oh, never mind then. I'll talk to you after.
Okay.
Well, that was a twist. They probably shrunk the laps down, which is perfect. Anywho, that's how we'll get back up here to the front. I didn't know that, so... Anywho, that's alright. They're probably waiting for everybody to... That's a smart thing. is what I told them to do, so.
Well, Spear, Newton, Bryan, Delgado, Johns, Deutscher, Pearson, Lomax. That's the top 8. Oh, and Newton really matched Spear right there on the restart. Haven't really seen outside lane match inside in a good minute. It's been at least a month, I do believe, since I've seen that. But good equal restart, at least from the front row. Everybody jockeying for position throughout the field, though. Jason Adams trying to work his way through the field. Inside the top 10 now.
Yeah.
Got some comers and goers through the field at this moment.
Right now, I would say the safest in the pack is JD. I know he couldn't get off pit road in time as soon as they took green, but that is all right. We still got all 30 cars very, very tight, with AB being the last one in line, over a second apart from each other, or half a second apart, whatever you want to call it. Close enough to it. I wouldn't say half a second. It was, you know, very close. So, well, 29
Well, the
of
race
100
is on.
complete.
Just on track.
Oh, yeah. There it
About
is.
4th on back. My apologies. Richard, just not Richard, my apologies. That's also, that's James Bryan.
In the 55, yes.
Okay, James Bryan. So, James. Oh, man, they are just dicing it up. Richard getting in front of James in 3rd place. Yep. Weaving, a bobbling, a shuffling. They're just dancing all over themselves.
Still side by side all the way around. Is that a battle for second up there?
I do believe so.
That's Pete Spear and Newton.
Ooh, look at that. Richard Johns with a nice run with the 21 there of Zach Deutscher.
Yes, Deutscher giving him a good push, trying to take it all the way to the lead, but that outside momentum from Spear. Spear controls that outside lane with a push from Newton down the front straightaway. But Richard Johns hugs that white line, really wrapping it around the bottom. Zach Deutscher going to poke his nose out now, make it 3 wide down the back straightaway. Who's going to give? Who's going to take? Looks like maybe no give. Great racing, great stuff here. Hopefully no disaster will occur.
No.
But incredible.
If I'm Richard, I'm just going to protect my car at the moment.
Yes, he's one of the drivers, one of the top 5 that stayed out. Restarted in the top 5 on that last restart, if we do say, get it correct. Excellent pass by Deutscher, though. He took advantage of the side-by-side situation. Instead of pushing Richard down the back straightaway, gave it a great shove down the front stretch to propel him with the momentum through 1 and 2, and just have enough to carry that momentum down the back straightaway, make it 3 wide, put Richard in that compromising spot, and Spear as well. And, man, sometimes you got to make those moves, make those decisions, as we still see them getting swirly, very slippery off of turn 2. That's going to be a common theme the rest of the night, no doubt, as we're still only 33 laps logged in this race so far.
Yes, and you see there Philip Bridgman looking to pass, who is that, Newton, looking to pass Newton in the 20 car, as Philip looks to keep that momentum from the 5 to pull them up there, as now they will be side by side here going into turns 3 and 4. You got pretty much Philip's whole team will be up there in the front. You got the 24 to 5 to 7 in a line. The only one missing out of that bunch is that 8 car, which is straggling right there. But James Bryan is not giving every inch to Jaden, but that is racing. So, and a slide job from the 55 there.
Jaden got back here in the dirty air, and he's got up to about 15th, 14th place, but hasn't quite. I was going to mention that before that last caution came out, that Jaden has had rebounded, made his way inside the top 15. He was running 15th when that caution came out. So he's just kind of been back here, just trying to work his way up through the pack here, through the field. Sometimes it can be a challenge trying to, when you feel like you got a fast car, just a fast, piece. You're trying to make your way up through the field. Delgado sideways.
Oh yeah, they saved it. They're still going.
Yep. Oh.
And there's a lot of contact there.
I was going to say, holy moly. They saved it, kept it all straight. No caution came of it.
Yeah.
But that for sure will throw some off the pace just a little bit. But that's net result sometimes of the hard racing that we were witnessing. But at the moment, Zach Wisher is out to about 9/10 second lead over Pearson in the 13. Eggy Bottom in the 44 machine, he sets in third place after working his way up through the field, just being in the right places at the right time and just having the fast lines. He knows how to get around the 1.5 miles, that's for sure.
Hey, he's always been good at 1.5 miles. We seen him last season. He was very good. So.
Yeah, he dominated a couple of them, or he had to really work his way up through the field.
That indeed he did.
Impressive run tonight by a handful of drivers. Good field, like we said. Mistakes are going to happen. They're going to occur. So that's racing. It's part of it. Just 2 cars, 1 lap down at the moment. 2 cars out of the race. But everybody else still only 10 seconds in total. The gap from leader to 30th overall.
You see Josh Small with a good run here. Hanging in the top 20. But I'm sure he'll eventually kick in and he'll get to where he needs to be. Josh paces himself slowly.
I was going to say, I think as high as I've seen him so far tonight is 12th, but like you said, I think he also had to check up. I think he might have been a part of that cluster that was going down in 1 and 2 or the whole length of the front straightaway, and then it finally ended in 1 and 2, I think, that we were saying there was a lot of contact with earlier, surprising if no caution was brought out. So the 5 cars that stayed out earlier didn't really seem to benefit them for the most part. I don't really, I'm trying to remember which. Newton, I think, is the only one that is currently still in the top 10 from the cars that stayed out earlier.
I think the 13 stayed out.
Pearson did?
Yeah.
Okay, well.
Newton.
Higgy has just about ran down Pearson, so battle for a second might be ensuing.
For Shirley, but there's, like I said, battles everywhere. You just don't know where to watch or where to go. When that battle for second gets a little bit more intensification, we'll go up there and keep a very, very, very close eye on it, for sure. So, which is probably coming in the next half a lap. You see there Josh Small and Brandon Moore doing with it, and just as we talk about it, there it is. The battle for second. As Higginbotham collects a 13 and now sets his eyes on the leader of Zach Glacier. Good old Higgy.
So a couple more cars have been lapped since we said there was 30. Now there's 28 on the lead lap. And you mentioned the 44 got by 13 of Pearson. Lomax up there as well. Lomax got by Pearson. So Pearson's tires finally kind of equalized out, and he might be dropping a little bit further back, but he's got a few seconds to kind of maybe recuperate, or maybe just that set of tires just kind of got all the goods off of it, so he for sure might fall into the clutches maybe of Jason Adams and Randy Coaching and Philip Bridgman, like all these guys back here battling for fifth on back. As you see all these, this whole almost looks like a fighter squadron.
Oh yeah.
As I kind of a punny reference to the Air Force Base just outside the backstretch. But yes, just all this gaggle of car, man. That epic side-by-side battle between Randy. Oh, Philip got in the wall. Oh man. Is that Schaefer? Chris Schaefer.
That is Schaefer.
Oh man. So Chris Schaefer with a Jeff Gordon style-like impact to the backstretch retaining wall, all because he was checking up or overreaction or just tugged real hard to the left to wreck avoidance of Philip Bridgman, just dragging the wall down there out at 2. I think Philip might have also got maybe rear-ended as well, trying to get out of the wall. But
you see there,
man,
his right front's a little pushed in. He got some tire debris on his windshield there. So
that was a hard impact for Phil that time.
Oh, there it is.
Trying
You
to
start
run
seeing
that
that Newton. All of them are now pitting, those who stayed out. So there they go.
Oh man! Speaking of Jeff Gordon, Jason Adams in the Jeff Gordon pickup machine. Man, he's going to try to get a caution here. Yes, indeed, caution does come out. And I'm not sure who that... I think that was Berger. Was that Berger? Who was that? With Jason?
Yes.
Okay. But, I mean, to be fair, I mean, his back ricochet back onto the track, but nevertheless, didn't happen for Schaefer, so, you know, anywho, this will give the drivers a break, and some will come down. I'm sure pretty much everybody might come down, top off.
They had a great run, and I was very excited.
Yeah, there was some potential there, but everybody kept getting really wicked loose the further on it went, so it would have been nice to see how many more was going to keep falling off, or what was going to happen there, but, I mean, you know, things like that happen in the real world.
So, all the drivers are coming down to pit. Hopefully nobody stays out. I would hate to see it.
I think from the last time I saw the gap on screen, I think Pigabottom had at least closed a tenth or two down on Deutscher, but like I said, that run was almost, you know, it was getting to the midway point, you want to believe, so maybe at that time, you know, we were going to probably see pit stops and maybe another 15 laps or so.
So Deutscher, Higginbotham, look at that battle off pit road there. Well done by these guys.
This is going to be really close because we're going to be about, one would think, 10 to 12 laps shy on fuel, if not 15, give or take.
Yep.
Trying to do a rough guesstimation in my head without using an actual calculator. So,
I'd like to talk to Jackson if we can real quick. Mr. Lomax.
Yes, sir.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Going good.
Currently P4 at this current time. Well, quite a few people are coming down, so you might move up at least one spot or two. Good run for you so far, finessing through the field and maneuvering. How is your car through traffic? I know we get some people are a little loose, some are a little tight. We'd like to
I think the car feels good. It's just a balance of throttle on turn exit. I ran, I don't know how many stints that lap was. My right fronts were still 80%, so I was kind of hoping to keep going because
so was I.
I feel like I'm really good on the long run, but the way this race has been going, I don't think it's going to be a long run race.
Well, we can hope that it will be eventually after this stop. So, Will, you got anything for Jackson?
Jackson, if you don't mind, explain how difficult it can be just to be consistent with your lap time to maintain that pace with and around that lead front.
You just gotta hit your mark. You gotta look at your lift points. Yeah, I mean it sucks lifting early, but when you lift early and kind of roll through the turns, it pays off later. As long as you can just kind of stay competitive in the first 10 to 15, it'll really pay for itself later in the run.
Well, best of luck to you there, Mr. Lomax, and just go out there and fight pretty hard for it towards the end if you're still up there, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
No problem.
Lomax, really tough competitor, it seems, really consistent as well. But got to deal with that 44 car tonight. Zach Deutscher as well seems to be very strong here this evening. Normally pretty decent whenever it comes to most mile and a halves. Vegas seems to be one that suits him for the most part, I should say. Chris, who have you been keeping an eye on that you're kind of surprised to see up and about?
Man, I don't know. These guys, being new to the league for myself, it's hard to keep so much of a track on them with the names. I'm still learning them, but just a lot of movement. It's hard to call who my favorite is right now.
Our guy, Kevin Roy, he's currently in that P11, P12 area, so hey,
what do they tell you?
Yep, he's been looking pretty fly at the moment, so gonna get the restart here, lap 55, so 54 will be completed once that iRacing wannabe Ford pace car pulls off. So Higgy giving that inside lane all the right in the world. And also making sure he don't get a penalty or nothing of that matter. So good restart there for Deutscher. Higgy gonna fall in line behind him through 1 and 2. Lomax. So top 3 trying to break away off the initial restart. Well, not initial, that would be the first. My apologies. Off this recent restart. But everybody, for the most part, from about, I would say, 5th or 6th on back, still giving it a good tussle for these battles off these restarts. Every spot, every position you can get, every inch you can get, very crucial, and restarts is the time to get them, Chris.
Yeah, it definitely is. You got to take advantage of when everybody's kind of bunched up, make the move when you can, because it's a lot harder to pass once they get single filed out and everybody gets in their rhythm, gets the line that they want. It's a lot harder to make your move to get past people, or if you can make that move, it'll take a lot longer, typically.
Yes, you want to get it done quick and painlessly as possible. You don't want you don't want to linger whenever you're battling somebody. I always like to get up to Brian, passing, get it done and over with quick and in a hurry. Because if I linger near Brian, he's just going to be a nuisance out there. So, just want to get by him as quick as possible. Don't want nobody
that is
dragging
true.
you down. So, 44 Higgy, just kind of maintaining that 5/10 of a second gap. Pearson with fresh tires, that must be all he needed. And Jaden Sanchez, man, he has really clawed his way back to the top 5, Brian, which we know he is capable of getting up on the wheel, and after a setback, he normally jumps back up the totem pole.
Oh yeah, Jason. Oh yeah, Jason. Wow.
Hey.
Yes, thank you. Jaden, like I said, I'm going to say it once again, Jaden's our youngest driver in the field. He and I told these boys before, yes, exactly. He's a very hard charger, Will. We've seen this over the seasons that he was here with us. He charges very hard early on. But he's able to finesse the car the way it needs to be. Sometimes he might slip up, make a mistake, but that is going to happen. He handles these cars, I would say, a little bit better than the next gen. Next gen, we a lot of us are still getting used to it. We know in the next gen car, Will and Chris, overcorrection is the thing not to do with those. Because when you overcorrect the car, oh yeah.
Burger and Lomax. Yeah, my apologies, wasn't trying to cut you off.
No, you're fine. That's good. Good catch. Lomax.
But yes, I do agree with you. Like in the trucks, he kind of sometimes, depending on the track, he can really drive over his ability, I would have to say, at times. But still, I respect it. Like, you know, he really gives it an A++ effort, and that's what I like to see out of truly, you know, any driver, really. You like to see them drive it as hard as they can. Like you said, he's had a lot more mistakes, I feel, in the Cup cars just because of, like you were saying, rack and peering compared to just these kind of old-fashioned power steering boxes. But you have a little bit more leeway with the trucks and the Xfinity cars. I agree with what you're saying. You know, you have a little bit more time to catch it than just the janky, almost like a GT steering race car.
And speaking of Kevin Roy there in that awesome paint scheme there.
Yeah, he fell back a few positions off the restart, but hey, that's normally Kevin Roy. If he's kind of starting where he doesn't necessarily want to be at that particular moment, he will drop back a little bit. Just let those guys go on ahead. You know, you go ahead, burn your stuff up, and I'll pass you back if I need to. So that's what we normally see out of Kevin, which is, hey, I applaud it.
Oh yeah, I agree with you.
Is that Shell or Shill?
Shell.
No. All right.
I would
in that
say
58.
Shell.
Richard Johns, he's had a back and forth battle all race tonight. We've seen him up front in the top 5 and all the way back here, just back and forth.
Oh yeah. So Will, Chris, 29 current drivers are on the lead lap. So the first car 1 lap down is Joe Stipe. And as you see there, JD is pitting. So battles are everywhere. We just don't know where to look. But I'd like to go to mine and Will's favorite section of the night, which is, I know we were going to do it halfway, but that's all right. We will step away, give you guys our Crank It Up section of the night for a couple of laps, so we hope you enjoy it. All right. As we come back to the action here.
Closest battle out on track, I believe, is about for 6th, 8th place. Randy Koking, Philip Bridgman, Tyler Myers was a part of that. I think Myers got past, trying to get away from him. Not for sure who all was a part of that, but Spear in that 18 machine. That was down there, 9th, 10th, 11th on back. Schaefer a part of that equation.
Oh, there it is. There's the wreck. Big one.
Oh, that was all over the infield.
Oof, that was a big one.
See, Spears clean.
Oh, I think
Kevin got caught in that.
Roy. Yeah,
Yeah. Wow. A lot of them.
they were 3 wide in the car in the middle. Car in the middle came down, net coated Kevin, I believe.
Oh.
Or just more, it just came down, body slammed him. Oh, Josh Mall was involved. Who else? There was 4 in total.
I have to say a little bit more
That
than
was
4. That was
Randy?
And look. Wow.
Yeah, they're spinning like a top. So that's Randy Koking in the 5, Josh Small 28, Kevin Roy in the 12, Chrome number car in the.
Oh.
Was that David Barry? In the American Patriotic. I guess that's a patriotic scheme.
I want to say.
Car in the middle. I can't get a good look at the number every time we see it, so I'm just
right on with Kevin Roy.
Newton door checked just came in and T-boned. I saw from like the chopper cam just cleaned somebody's clock.
23.
Oh, Schaefer. Oh man. That's his 2nd wreck tonight. He's for sure going to be out of this. Schaefer is one we normally see run pretty decent at 1.5 miles, and normally anywhere. He just got caught up back here. A couple of good times.
Let's right on board with Phillip. Let's see what Phillip saw.
Man.
Phillip saw
George
carnage.
Rimcon. I'm still trying to look at all the people that was involved. George Rimcon was involved.
There was a lot of them.
Man, Phillip just trying to get through it. Some were able to get through, some were checking up and just got plowed into. I think that's what happened in Newton's case. So, 25 to go. We'll have about 24, maybe? I have to see.
I think so.
Pace car.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, you're good?
Nope. Oh,
Nope.
well, probably,
So,
probably 23.
yeah, 23, 22. We'll figure it out here in a second.
Well,
But, man, that crash wipes away a lot of good contenders that were battling. Some were off sequence than others. Some probably had fresher tires than others. So that's probably why you saw some battling harder than others, for sure. Chris, what do you think about the crash? Oh, gonna talk to Jaden real quick, Chris.
give me 1 second. Okay, I had to talk to Jay. Sanchez.
Hi.
How's it going, sir?
I don't know yet. We'll see in about 25 laps.
Well, you did get caught in that early wreck early on, sir. You guys are coming to 24 to go. So I do see Kevin Roy's out there, but he will be passing the pace car. So that's that. How is that car mid traffic compared to being in the front side? I mean, up there in the front.
Well, it feels pretty slow, not gonna lie. Yes, I'm up here, but I don't know. We'll see. The car is definitely better on tire wear than a lot of the guys around me. Different steering ratios and stuff, but other than that, I really don't have anything. I don't think for some of these guys, especially because I already used my last set, and on these guys, I know Zach has another set left. Really, that caution in the beginning of the race for me and Brandon, that really screwed me up. Then I would have an extra set left too, but yeah, it's just racing. I tried getting up to him, and I knew I wasn't clear, but I couldn't get to the bottom in time, and he just didn't want to lift. He blocked me on the first corner, and I lifted for him, so it's just product of racing though. But yeah, we'll see what we can do. Hopefully no cautions, and we can get the second win of the season back to back.
Yes, sir. Best of luck to you, and we'll chit chat later.
Yeah.
Alright guys, we're over 3/4 of the way done with this one. It's 24 laps to go.
Not too bad here tonight. 5 cautions.
What do you think we're going to see for the last... Oh, they're about to go green.
I think we might get 2 more cautions. Maybe. That's a good possibility. But yes, back to green flag racing. Zach Deutscher leads them away with a big push from the 44 of Higgy.
Those 2 cars are hooked up great as they head down into the corner. And they're side by side stacked up behind them. They're about to push it new wide right here. And he's going to get pinched off. It's not going to happen.
Well, you were correct. Did not happen. Jaden trying to defend the best of his abilities. Trying to stay top 5 as possible. Like he said, he has no more sets. He's on his final set of tires. We don't know how many laps that set of tires has undergone. So... But real quick, Chris, what did you think of that huge crash? What was your take on it?
Yeah, like I said, I really don't even know if we lads. We got another one right here.
Yep, another. Well,
No.
Oh!
We got one on the roof.
Oh!
He gets caught again. Oh my goodness.
That was McKenzie in the 00, I do believe.
Just has to reset it.
Higgy bottom going down the... was Higgy in?
No.
Something happened to Higgy? Oh, man.
That was vicious.
Just 47 involved. Brandon Moore in that.
Yeah.
77, Robert Amaro.
Yeah,
The
double
1,
zero.
Matthew Hunsaker. Man, he was just keeping it clean, having a good run. All those guys were.
Says
I think
Richard
maybe
Convoy.
somebody got loose. I don't know what happened. You just saw a car go dead
Yeah,
right. You
right
never
there.
want to see that.
Right in front of Jim. Oh.
Well, kind of
36.
replay it back. And who was that?
36 got into Brandon Moore.
Okay.
Parts flying everywhere. Oof. Philip
Ooh.
got through it.
One just
Sorry.
got it in the door pretty good.
I was trying to catch this here. That's right on board with. Sorry, I was trying to find a great view here.
Yeah, the 36 and 47, Brandon Moore, they just kind of came together. And it all ensued after that. Looks like almost one of those Daytona big ones. Oh, man. McKenzie goes down, hits that. Man. Kind of leaves you speechless seeing a car wreck like that.
Oh man. Oh.
Oh.
Was that the
And
one
some-
car that went straight into the inside wall? It's hard.
No, that was the
Oh no,
double
Kevin
zero.
Roy's in there.
Yep, Kevin ends
There goes
it.
my pick.
Kevin, for sure, that we're going to have some drivers that are just done after this one. So, okay, so the 36 got loose on corner exit on that restart, came down into the 47, then just ricocheted off of him. Just one of those things, you get loose sometimes coming off the corner, especially on these restarts, trying to get up to speed. Sometimes you're dealing with the set of tires you got to carry to the end of the race. Maybe you've already done a stint or so on them.
Oh no, Higginbotham had lost connection.
See, I saw him drop down the scoring pylon. Oh man, Higgy was having a great run. That's very, very unfortunate.
Thank you to my P2 sitter there that updated us with information.
Yes, indeed. Always good to have somebody. Thank you, indeed. Appreciate somebody looking out for us when we truly don't. We have to assume about, I would say, 70 to 80% of the time.
That was a vicious wreck.
Oh, dude.
No, Will, I miscalled that one. I said Kevin Roy was in that one. I had the wrong number for him. He's actually right on screen. That was a bad call by me. Yeah, my pick's still in there.
Yeah, he's currently in that P13, P12 area, so still in the top 15. But they're still cycling our 6th caution here, so, and we still have a lot left on the lead lap, at least, a good handful, over a handful, so I would classify a handful like 12, maybe 13, but there's at least 18, 20-ish competitive cars, I would say, on the lead lap. Others still trying to get repairs done or just fighting to get back on the lead lap.
Yeah. So
I said
Josh,
2 more after the 5th. Go ahead, sorry.
No. You're good. So Josh Small did get his lap back, so that's a plus. Had to put him back on the lead lap.
Is that 20 to go?
Yeah. We are now going to start seeing the slice and dice.
Yeah, if you thought it was aggressive earlier, it's about to get more and more like it. It was only on 9 or 8 earlier. It's about to get turned up to 11.
Yeah, especially with these guys. Me and Will had great call-ins with a lot of these guys. When it came down to the nitty-gritty, this is the reason why we like these boys. They'll put a fight on and they'll whip everybody's rear ends out on track, but when you come and talk to them, sometimes they exchange a few words to each other, and that's that.
It's not so great after the race, but it's great to see it happen as it happens, I guess you could say. But sometimes whenever you hear it, they're trying to cool each other off, and how they saw it one or the other way. There's always at least 3 sides to every one story. So
pace lights did come back on.
All right. Well,
they try to get everybody bunched up back there. Yet there's some guys missed out of place. So,
yep. Trying to get everybody in order, at least.
Which is a smart thing. That's what we tell them to do, so nobody gets screwed out of a start.
So gonna see the restart with 16 to go instead of 17. So
I know Zach Deutscher is still sitting comfortably P1, which is right where he wants to be. His teammate is fluctuating P2 and P6 and P8. So
an impressive run for Cade in that 35 machine.
Oh yes, I didn't even see that.
Recently,
good catch.
Not too long, just a few months, adapted over full-time onto iRacing, and been slowly but surely improving, I would have to say, from the races I have got to see him in. So hopefully I didn't just jinx him to Timbuktu.
We know how well that curse can be, so.
Sometimes right after you talk somebody up, or anyway, pace car should be pulling off this lap.
And by the way, the lights kicked on track, so.
Vicious, man, vicious. He's gonna watch out, man. Anyway,
Backing up. Here they go.
Yep.
Huge start by that 21 and douche dasher.
Yeah. Trying to get best possible jump that he can. Deutscher being the race leader, he has that right in a sense to dictate the pace of when he
right as we said it, another stack up there. Oh, JD.
Something occurred way back in the back.
You see the 5 there all beat up, nicked, crannied up. And just couldn't get it going there. I see they both went up. Oh, Richard got to the quarter of the two. So that's a little mishap on his side. Yeah, no he ain't.
Not happy with something that his buddy JD did there. I would have sworn they were teammates. Maybe he... no, never mind. Yeah, JD was checking up for the 5 like you said. I got to see it on the bigger screen. On the stream there. JD was just checking up for Randy and got into the wall. Once he got out of the wall, Richard was like, yeah, I'm sorry, I thought I checked up and just accidentally got into him. So, restart with about, 13 to go.
Chris Campbell. I haven't talked to him. Talked to him in a while. Netherlands. Chris, it's Will, Brian, and Chris in the booth. You got us.
What's going on?
Well, I see you rebounded from the early aftermath. Your car still looks pretty, I would say. 14 to go. You know this group is very intense when it comes down to these last final. And this is their biggest field that they've had, so they're all probably shocked and so on. Anyway, sir, you are hovering over P12 position. How is that car handling about mid-pack, like in the swarm of the mess?
Once it evens out, it does pretty good. I mean, once we get a couple laps in on the tires, it starts doing pretty good. And then turn 2, I feel like I'm better in turn 2, but these guys are intense.
Yes, these boys will keep you on your feet.
Think of things a couple of times, Chris, so I wouldn't be surprised if you pulled away with the top 10.
It is a good race. It's a pretty good field. I'm happy to be in it.
Hey, that's always an honor, Brown. We're always glad to have you here. Well, or Chris, you got anything for Chris?
Nope, just good luck on the rest of this race.
Yeah, man.
Thank you, boys.
No problem. Best of luck to you, Chris. There's one more I want to talk to. Sitting 5th. Oh, they still got time. Mr. Barry!
How goes it?
Well, it goes pretty good, I guess, for you. I see you up there in the front. I like to see that. The biggest field of the night, which is awesome. A couple of wild wrecks, couple of flips, barrel rolls, and some more. But anyway, you're sitting P5. You're in the bird eye seat at this time with 13 to go. What's your strategy from here, and how is the handle of that car?
Well, the Mustang's driving pretty good. I'm hoping that these guys out front will just go full on and try to burn up their tires, staying up there. And hoping the guys that I can stay in front of the guys behind me and maybe reel them in right at the end. But just hoping to get a solid top 5, which I'm there as long as I can stay there.
Yes. Will or Chris, you guys got anything for For Dave, what is Jaden doing on the inside? He's supposed to be on the outside.
Well, best of luck to you, Dave, and hopefully you can get your top 5. If not, make something out of it. Maybe even a podium, David. I know you got some good speed.
Well, thank you. I'm hoping to. A top 3 would be great.
Yes, sir. All right, sir. Best luck to you. I'll get you back up there. Coming to 12 to go here this evening, Will and Chris.
Yes, it's for sure going to be a spicy 11-lap shootout. Pearson back up here yet again. He had pretty good pace while he was up here earlier, about the halfway point, I would have to say. Spears back up here in that 3rd position in that 18 car.
Yep. As the pace car pulls off, boys, and Zach Deuscher will lead the field back to green as the green flag waves, and a big stack up there. That is going to cause some mayhem there. That's what we talk about, but they collected it. They got it going. So they should be all right. 'Cause every little thing is going to be all right.
Don't know if Deuscher just spun the tires on that last restart or what, but he just didn't really get going. Maybe he was trying to do one of those slow restarts. Anything is possible, but maybe he just didn't get going as well. But stacked the field up, like you said, and now he's basically in a Jag race heat with Pearson in that 13 machine. Jaden trying to really hang tough up here with these guys. Spear kind of does a slide job on him. They still funnel out of turn 2 respectfully. As Deuscher lost the lead there to Pearson. Pearson takes the lead from Zach Deuscher, coming to 9 laps to go. Deuscher have anything left? Is he going to be able to fight back with that?
We got battles everywhere, Will. Back here, mid-pack. But we will keep a close eye on that battle for the lead too, as well as we come back here and fluctuate. For sure. You see Jason up there on the outside. A little damage to that car from the restart. Got hit in the rear, so that's doing a number to that car. For sure.
And Attaboy would have to go to maybe Jacob Delgado in that 48 machine.
Say by the 6.
Yeah,
He had
that
penalty.
Yes, Delgado did have a penalty.
I know we had that caution early on, really helped him out a bit, but man, he's talk about someone that had to really work his way up through the field. Delgado won for sure. I saw that slide that you guys talked about. I didn't get to catch live. That really gonna hamper Tyler Myers' momentum and also a couple of the guys behind him.
Zach Deuscher trying everything in his God Almighty will to get by the 13, but the problem is, Will and Chris, does Zach have enough tires left on that machine to do something on the last lap, or maybe 2 to go to get by that 13? We would have to watch in these next closing laps here to see what Zach Deuscher can do, but I am still looking at Dave Barry. Dave Barry is phenomenal with saving tires. Expect him to make a late run charge towards the end. Same thing with Jaden. So we'll have to keep our eyes peeled on that too as well.
Top 5 all within 7/10 of a second. They are all right there within amongst each other. Philip Bridgman has a little bit of separation, and to him and Head and Delgado battling for 7th and 8th behind him. So not sure if that's where Philip's going to stay in 6th position, or if the hungry pack is going to catch him and pass him. So, but right now, it's all about the first 5 cars coming to 4 laps to go as Spear gets awful close. Side drag. Oh! Synchronized. coming out of the dog
Kevin
leg.
Roy.
It
Kevin
was
Roy
Cameron.
Brandon Moore.
Yes, Brandon Moore. Just as Spear was making a move. Yes, Kevin Roy went down low, went downstairs. Campbell wasn't involved. My apologies. They were just slowing up at the time whenever I was looking at it. So, yes, Kevin Roy went downstairs on the front stretch, came back up, and met Brandon Moore. Oh, no, there was...
Somebody grabbed the wall.
Yeah. Was that Randy?
And then,
No, that wasn't Randy.
Yeah.
That was...
Kevin got a little aggressive with his re-entry.
That was Cade.
Was that Cade?
That was Cade that hit the wall.
Oh, man.
And yes, Kevin Roy thought he was clear to come back up, but unfortunately hit Brandon Moore there, and Brandon Moore didn't give him any room to pull back up. But once you're down there under that line, you're not
he may
obligated
not
to give it
know.
back.
And yeah, in a way, once you're down there, and then I think what happened truly is Kevin got his left side down on that grass, and then he was just trying to pull it back up on the track after he saved it from clipping that grass, because sometimes you don't get that chance. Sometimes the grass is just, it's a monster to race cars. It'll just turn you sideways in a heartbeat, and Kevin was able to get it back going straight again after it was going there, and then unfortunately Brandon just there. So we green white checkered here. Our
Attempt 1.
8th caution. Yes, attempt number 1 in the green white checkered. 8th caution of the evening. So who are we going to find to talk to now? We've almost talked to everybody that we know.
Oh, Matt.
we
I
are
wanted to
capable
talk to
of
Matt.
talking to.
We talked to Matt. Remember we were trying to do that, and
Oh yes.
unfortunately we're about to give him the curse now, so.
Yes, it's everybody's turn. You get it and they get it. He gets it.
Matt!
Yes, hello.
Hi!
How are you doing up there?
Well, impressive. You guys made it under the lights. That's good. Boy, that car behind you ain't got no rear end, but that's alright. Anyway, attempt 1 of 15. So, how is that equipment handling, and what is going through your head at this current time?
I think it's handling pretty decent, but I don't have any tires left, so my thought is just hopefully send it. You know, we only got a few left hanging out, like 10. Yeah, I know, you're my strategist. I got like 10 laps left, or I've only got 10 laps on my tires, then like, 3 laps left, 2 laps left?
You guys becoming 3 to
Hopefully
go.
I can get a top 3.
Well, that'll be your luck there in the Chevy. Will, you got anything for Mr. Matt?
Well, you've tried to keep your nose clean most of the night. I believe you got caught up in 1 or 2 of the melees that we have seen this evening. A lot of vicious crashes. But yeah, you're sitting pretty in that 7th place at the moment. I think a lot of other competitors around you are either basically like you in that same boat with tires. So best of luck to you on this restart, Matt.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Chris, you got anything for Matt?
Yeah, it's good to see you're all right after that hard contact with the inside wall. Yeah, just good luck
thanks, man.
on the remainder of this run.
Well, all right, Matt.
I'm doing my best over here.
Best of luck to you, boss, and go get him.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, you're welcome, Matt. So, Will, they've made it under the lights. It has been a very excitement race. That is for sure. But these boys next week, I do believe, they head to ISM. So that'll be another great eventful track to watch. Hopefully
Which one is that?
Phoenix.
Okay, Phoenix.
Why they
Yeah.
gotta go change the names like that? Just call it Phoenix.
Well, hey, it's always been ISM since I've known it.
Well, it was a sponsorship thing with like a software company or some type of data company, but like the sponsorship didn't actually reach its agreement year, so they just went back. They just reverted back to calling it Phoenix because like the sponsorship didn't fulfill its requirements.
Like Charlotte, they used to call Lowe's.
Yes.
Ironically, when Jimmy Johnson is dominant there.
Yes.
Pretty much. Yeah.
But now
That's
Jimmy
good.
Johnson shifts over to Toyota. Oof. Well, I guess I mean Jimmy Johnson fan now. Hey, I'm just saying I'm Martin Truex fan. But anyway, that's besides the point. We'll talk about that later. We'll have our debacle about that afterwards. Restart race here. Green flag is out. 2 to go as they cross the line. Do we see another caution? Hopefully not. Let these boys race it out. Jaden Sanchez has a run to take P2 away. Where's Zach? Wow. Boy, if I was Zach, I probably would have just stood out. Be honest with you.
I think he fell back to 4th or 5th before the caution came out.
Yeah, he's now at 20th now.
Pearson with a good restart. He's got a whole shot lead for the moment. The Spear fighting back. He's got Jaden there to contend with. As David Berry really trying to hang 10 and get that top 5. Delgado moving in, well, no, 3 wide back there. Oh my.
Whoa, big block.
Jaden goes downstairs trying to block David Berry's run. David Berry won't be denied that 3rd place. Podium finish for David Berry in the side.
Oh, he turns him.
Oh, he still
gets
gets 3rd.
it.
He still gets 3rd.
Oh, that was
Huge crashes everywhere on the final lap coming to the stripe. Yes, it was intense, insane, and very 50-50, I guess. But Pearson and Spear, man, that was close there between those two, but hard battle for 3rd.
I wonder if they're going to have some words after the race, even though he still got the spot. That was
even harder battle for Hunsaker and Delgado did the same thing that 3rd and 4th did to each other. Yes, wow. They want all of those 4 drivers wanted each and every spot they could get. That's all you can say really about that. Just getting all you can get coming to the checkered. I mean, they didn't really gain or lose nothing, I guess, in a way. Like, they still... I didn't feel what David Berry did in 3 and 4 was wrong. Got underneath Jaden when he went to block him and passed him cleanly for the most part, I thought, as Brendan Pearson in that 13 machine. You're a winner here this evening?
Oh, yeah. I would say an intense battle. For those closing laps. Nothing less. Well, I don't see the other 2 in, so we'll talk with Dave here. Unfortunately, that'll probably cut it short, unless we give it a little bit and see where they shake out and go from there.
Do we have
Delgado's in there, but
if we can't talk to Pearson or Spear, maybe Barry and Hunsaker.
Yeah, that's fine.
Man, almost speechless, just about. Sorry, Chris, if I was cutting you off at any point. My apologies.
Nope.
Mr. Barry.
David.
Hey.
Hey, well, fierce battle there on that green-white checkered. Some people really go the extra mile, and We talked about possibly you getting a podium finish. You made a heck of a move going and passing Jaden. He got real aggressive with that downstairs block down the back straightaway. You still you got your nose in there and went for it cleanly, I might add, and you was able to get that third place from him, David, and finished third. Like we just mentioned, epic battle that you had, and epic restart. If you don't mind, just tell us about a little bit about your race from your point of view, what all you had to deal with all night, and a little bit about that restart there.
Oof.
David?
We might have lost him.
Might have lost Dave. Might have lost Dave.
Testing, testing.
There we go. We got you.
There we go. Okay, I actually heard your question. I don't know if you heard any of my answer.
No, sir.
No, we didn't.
I'm sorry if I put you to sleep with my rambling.
No, that wasn't it at all. Actually, what happened is I qualified terrible just because I spun trying to go for it all, and I started at the back, tried to save everything. I knew everybody was going to be quick tonight, so I just wanted to save my car, try to stay out of wrecks if there was any, and there turned out to be a few. So it worked out because I was better on long runs. And the guys at the front were just lights out freaking fast. I couldn't do nothing with them even on that restart. And I knew Jaden was going to pinch me down. I mean, it's for a top three. So I just had a good run and I threw it in there and I was just hoping it would stick. And I know he was going to try to side draft me back. But yeah, it turned out to be a great race. I'm very happy with it.
Well, glad we were able to talk to you at the end. I figured you were. I figured once I mentioned, hey, you might get a podium. I figured, man, I'm, gonna try a bit harder. I was hoping at least, but excellent race, like you said. Yeah, we did have, I think, a total of 8 cautions. I think it was, but there were just times where the racing got so intense, so close that you knew there was going to be trouble, just because of how, in a way, all these competitors were with each other. They were just so close to one another with lap time, so you kind of figured just by looking at the qualifying times or maybe the practice times that some people were just going to be constantly on top of one another, David. And that's just kind of what we saw this evening. So next week is Phoenix. If you're going to be here for Phoenix, what would be your strategy and kind of ideology for Phoenix?
Qualify a lot better and try to stay inside the top 10 instead of in the back. I like that track, so that's where I'd like to stay.
All right. Well, David, do you have any shout-outs or maybe anything else you'd like to add about tonight's race here at Las Vegas?
Well, I'd like to thank Captain Crunch for coming aboard, and my brother Mark and my teammates that we had this evening. They helped out a lot. We did a lot of strategy together, and BNR, the broadcast, everything's been great. It's a great group of guys here, so I'm looking forward to next week.
Yes, sir. Honored to have you here. Chris, you got anything for Dave?
No, you guys covered it pretty well.
All right, Mr. Dave. Well, looking forward to see you next week on Tuesday and Thursday. Tuesday, Coda, we've talked about this on Tuesday night. Best of luck to you there, and best of luck to you next week at Phoenix.
Thank you, guys.
No problem.
Have a good night, and we'll see you next week.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, buddy.
All right. Who'd you say?
Well, either Jacob Delgado or Matthew Hunsager, because that finish between those two, like I said, if we can't get first or second, try to talk to at least one or two people before we call it a night.
Matthew. Oh.
Matthew, got a copy, Matthew. All right, cool. We hear you, you hear us. Anyway, so impressive. We had simultaneously four drivers, basically just kind of coming together there on the final. Well, coming to the checkered. Okay, coming out of a turn four, beating and banging a suit between, just all of you guys. I think you and Delgado tangled up together. Just tell us about that restart and a little bit more about the point of view from your side of the race this evening, Matthew.
Coming to the checkered, or taking the green-white checkered, I was going as fast as I possibly could, and then coming out of four, I just tried to go low. They were all sending it in the corner, washing up high, and then I just went down to the apron to try and get it. But I was just trying to keep it cool till the end of the race. I got collected one or two times, but good finish.
Yes, indeed. We replayed the finish there. Delgado came down. I guess he thought there was a little bit more race to go, or just you guys came together after the stripe. But it looked like, in real time, it looked like it was happening simultaneously and just looked savage. But it probably looked like pretty chaotic, just spinning after the checkered. So yeah, we just wanted to talk to you. We couldn't get a hold of our P1 and P2 tonight, so we were just trying to drag a couple of others in. Next week is Phoenix in the Xfinity Series there, Matthew. So if you're here for that, tell us about what might be frustrating you what you might have to be looking into for Phoenix. I know that's a frustrating track, or it can be. Not to everyone, but
I think it's just hitting your marks and getting your brake bias right, most likely. Right. And I feel pretty good at Phoenix. I like Phoenix.
There you go.
Hopefully I can get a win.
Yeah, there you go. You were right there tonight when it counted. You were, just trying to stay out of trouble. Did the best you could, like you said. Got gathered up in one of those incidences tonight, but almost look at the field and say almost who didn't. Kind of surprisingly, because just about everybody at some point seemed to be caught up in something, you thought, just by the looks of most cars and just by most of the back and forth night that some people were having, Matthew. But got any shout outs or anything else you'd like to add?
I don't think I have any shout outs. I don't think I have anything to add. Except for we'll see you next week.
Indeed, we will. Thank you, Matthew, for talking to us. Congratulations on that top 5 finish tonight, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. All right, Will. If you and Chris want to close it out, more power to you. Go right ahead.
Chris, what are your thoughts of tonight's Xfinity race this evening in the BNR? Final thoughts, Chris?
Mic was off. My apologies for that one.
Okay.
Well, there's no lack of excitement here. I think we had 8 or 9 cautions, and so there's plenty of action to see. Not a dull moment tonight, as well as just some good hard racing and a bit of action at the very end of that one too.
Yes, indeed. All around action, excitement, all of that of which you love to see. Later on, this weekend got Cup action for the BNR Cup Series Saturday and Sunday. So come out and view us there. So next week, BNR Xfinity Series will be at Phoenix out there, Diamond in the desert. So Coda and the Truck Series Tuesday. So everybody, we hope to see you tomorrow for the SRU Truck Series if we are able. And until then, thank you, Chris, Brian, myself, William. I want to wish each and every one of you a fantastic and good night. Man.